and welcome to the HomeBhoys live phone-in show here on a Monday night at 7:30 on Hail Hail Media here on Spreaker. My name is, of course, Joe McKenna. We got a bit of a packed show tonight. We got plenty to talk about. Lots coming up, lots has happened, and lots going on in the background that we're a bit to find out later on. I'm, of course, joined by, we got to welcome back the man who's finally recovered from a 4-week hangover, Mr. David Harper.
I wasn't off for a hangover last week.
What were you off for?
I was working late. I started work late, didn't finish till late.
You were needing a cap.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Right, but I never go home till something like 8 o'clock.
Oh, sure, but you sent us a message at about midday saying I can't do it tonight, I'm destroyed.
Aye, because I was 3 hours late in starting work. I was using my flexi time because I had a heavy weekend.
That wasn't the kind of thing you put across to us. Now, you told us you were dying.
No, I never. I just said I was tired.
I know, but you were. I left you on Sunday, and you were well oiled. So I just assume you were dying. People just assume you're hungover.
I had plenty. I watched Jets winning the NFL and everything.
So
Never. Jets.
Anyway,
about 25 years ago.
Last week. These Buccaneers with 2 seconds to go.
They're a good side, aren't they?
I've also been joined by the Green and White Raider, the man who's gonna crack the Edinburgh establishment. We hope. Paul Larkin.
Hello.
And the one and only Mr. Jason Higgins.
No, man, I got my title tonight.
Oh, the weirdo of Wisha. You don't want to overdo it. So, get the usual stuff out of the way. If you want to contact us, you can Skype in. Probably the handiest way to do it. You can Skype in, set up a Skype account if you have Skype. Add us. It's HomeBhoys on Skype. We'll accept you as a contact. You can call in. We'll add you to the call. And then you'll get the picture. You join in. I mean, don't be afraid. People get very nervous. I don't understand why. But just relax. Come on, have a chat. As long as you're not with Celtic, that's no problem. If you want to call our phone number, our new fancy phone number, it is a Glasgow number. It's 0141 356 7327, and that'll be priced at a Glasgow call, like if you're calling your granny. If you haven't got a granny, no, somebody else. What else? You can hit us up on Twitter at HomeBhoys. Also, you can hit at Hail Hail Media. You can also email us, homeboys@gmail.com, or is there a Hail Hail Media at gmail.com as well?
Yeah.
There is. Yeah, hit that as well. There's also a chat room here on the old Spreaker page that we use, which is handy. We're already getting a phone call. Will I take this phone call?
Nah.
No?
If you want.
Well, it's kind of the point of the show, no?
Okay.
You can tell, you can call us, you can do this and that, but I'll take this.
That's all it is. We won't cut anybody off. That's if we let you on first. James.
Alright.
You're eager tonight, mate.
No, I'm just in for work, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm team cracker.
See, you just want to tell the nation you're in for work.
Aye. Just to see that Champions League music there had spine tingling. Oh, just brilliant.
I tell you, let's get this all set for Wednesday night. We're going to talk about that very soon.
I was at the game on Saturday, so I really enjoyed it, Jason, believe it or not, I was happy. Absolute brilliant for Celtic, and I'm looking forward to Wednesday now. So they're unknown again, so here we go.
A couple of good pluses have popped up though today. I mean, we're just reading. Not that I want to get into the Milan thing now. We're just reading here that Kaka is out for the game on Wednesday.
Push it anyway.
It's no 2007 anymore, but he's a great player, but anything that can help us, but time will tell. They'll probably get a suitable replacement for him.
Yeah, but I think Milan are being a wee bit cocky. You know what I mean?
Our defence is actually getting a bit better, especially Big Virgil and Ambrose were excellent on Saturday. I still think he's a very more people saying he's a good game. I still think he's getting caught out a lot. But, so we'll see. Matthews, I thought was excellent and all. And Brown was excellent. Obviously, Stoke, Sammy when he came on was excellent, and Pukki scored. So things are looking good, but I'm not getting carried away.
No. What I mean, Hearts didn't really look too good, in fairness. I mean, that's the first time I've seen a Hearts team with their Lithuanian name in it. In fairness.
To be fair, they were a lot better than I thought they were going to be. I thought they'd been dire, but they actually played pretty well for a team of young laddies.
I think, to be fair, I think they maybe raised their game a wee bit because it was Celtic, like, you know, because I've got a mate who supports Hearts and says they have been quite poor, like, this season so far.
That's a killer if you're a supporter of a team, but isn't it? And they play Celtic and then they raise their game. You must be absolutely sick that they don't do it every week.
Oh, I mean, we see it all the time, man.
I know. Well, us especially, we can do it in the Champions League.
I agree with you completely. Like, I'm not saying I was overly worried, but it wasn't I thought it was going to be a complete walkover at the weekend.
So did I.
And don't get me wrong, we were never in any real danger. I don't know if I quite agree with James about the defence. Like, it's the kind of weak point in the team for me at the minute. I'm still had an alright game, but my heart's always in my mouth with Ambrose. Like, I just didn't like him in there. I think I'd put Mulgrew in there. I don't know. In fact, I'm completely undecided on that. I'm not happy with the centre defence.
Ambrose has been brilliant this season.
I'm not happy, but what I'm saying, I don't think we're the greatest in defence. We're still no, but it's a lot better than what we've had. You know, and I think he might even go with Mulgrew in front of the defence. I don't know.
I actually was thinking the other way, that putting Ambrose kind of in the front of the back two on Wednesday night.
Aye.
He'll shoehorn Mulgrew in there somewhere, that's a certainty.
Mm-hmm.
Go to. And I thought Ledley was a bit subdued in the second half when they took him off. You know,
he's not been great this season at all.
No, he's not. Disappointingly.
By the way, have we lost Paul? I've just had a text for Paul there. You there, Paul?
I've lost him. Hold on, try and get him back. Hold on a second. I'll try to get him back in there.
Carry on, James.
I was going to give a message to Paul message encouragement when it comes back on, because obviously you've got other people coming on the show, and I don't want to stay on all night, you know.
Well, we've got at 8 o'clock. We've got a guy, Thomas Rannikin, coming on. He's standing at the Govan by-election. He's standing as an independent under the banner Acts the Act, so he'll be on to tell us about his motivation and whatever for standing there. So that'll be something you'll feel strongly about yourself, James.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you've seen the up to ante with the Motherwell fans, you've seen the Hibs fans and on Saturday. You know, so we'll see. I mean, it was mental on Saturday because obviously the Hearts had smoke bombs and Celtic fans smoke bombs. Luckily, I was up further up the back, away from the smoke bombs. But it's a catch-22 for me, because obviously I don't like them, but if people are going to do them, then they have to understand the police. They're going to places like Tannadice and Pittodrie and that. You're going to be searched. It's going to become the norm if you keep doing them. So you can't really moan if you do smoke bombs, then you're stopped and searched.
Yeah.
Aye, but I think as a support we need to take collective responsibility. I mean, to me it's bangers that are letting off the bangers. You know, as simple as that.
Was terrible.
It's just, and that was a good mate of mine that got hit with it. But it's no place in football for me, you know. But at the end of the day, if we need to stand together.
Jason, sorry, can you just fill me in completely what happened with the banger? Because I didn't know anything about this, to be honest.
Somebody threw a banger and it banged next to a good mate of mine's leg, and it put a hole in his trousers and he got a big cut in his leg because
I seen the picture on Celtic Minded of his leg. A big hole. Like,
good mate of mine, Stuart. Aye, so he goes in the Lisbon Lions bus, and seemingly they confronted who they thought it was, and they denied it was them. But at the end of the day, if I'm at the game and somebody throws a banger near me, I'm laying them out. Simple as that. I'm not putting up with it.
What are they doing flinging bangers in amongst their own support? Like, what's that all about?
That's what they've been doing the past few weeks, past few while. I don't know who's doing it.
But I mean, it was just flung into the crowd, or was it just like
side? So it makes a big bang.
No, but you know what I mean. Obviously, usually when they let off the flares and then a wee sort of open space would maybe happen, and then I was thinking maybe that's where the bangers getting flung to. Surely they're not just flinging it like randomly into the fucking crowd.
Well, they obviously are.
I think they're just throwing it on the ground, and whenever it rolls, wherever it goes, where it goes. I mean,
you can't help that.
Those things are fairly powerful. I mean, a hole in the leg is probably the least of your worries. You want to lose a toe. I mean,
see, the thing is, I think if they're going to do it, at least be fucking responsible. What you're doing. I mean, as I say, I don't like the bangers.
How can you, James? How can you be responsible letting off a banger in a football crowd?
Aye, that's the thing. I prefer, actually, even though I don't like smoke bombs, I'd rather have smoke bombs than bangers. You know, because smoke bombs will, you know, that's fair enough. But no, the bangers I don't like. And as you know, at the Cliftonville game, which I wasn't at when there was bangers in the 1-1-1, and they were warning the people doing it over the Green Brigade, fucking stop it, you know. But I think it should become the norm with a lot of teams, because they circle near them at every away game, these smoke bombs. That was Motherwell, and other teams are doing them, Hearts are doing them, and other teams. So it's become the norm, really. But with the bangers, it's just, I don't like them.
Well, what Jason, you're saying that was a mate of yours, like, knowing a burnt a hole in his leg. Now, what if that had been a wee boy or a wee lassie standing there?
Exactly.
Like,
See if it was my son or daughter, I'd be in the cells now, I can assure you.
Aye.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I think it's, to be honest with you, see if it keeps going on, it's only a matter of time for it, is it, Chad?
Aye.
So it's Celtic fans need to start policing themselves here, and this is not on. I mean, but you're going about the ultras, and some folk don't like the Green Brigade, but this is a totally different level here. This isn't creating an atmosphere. This isn't adding to the match day experience. This is just utter stupidity.
No, I think you're right there, Jason, because I think people could argue, for the relevance of smoke bombs or creating a spectacle of that. I don't see how anybody could argue for what a banger brings to a football match, you know what I mean?
Aye.
It's clearly, I mean, I didn't understand the fascination with it. I didn't, and as Harper said, I just didn't get what the thinking behind throwing amongst your own supporters is, because, as you've seen, I saw the picture of the guy's leg, and it was an awful mess, you know what I mean? And I also saw pictures of, wee laddies and lassies at the game and stuff like that. So, as you say, if it hits one of them, if it's hitting your mate at knee level, it's hitting him at face level, and it's much more serious,
Exactly. I mean, somebody's going to lose a fucking eye, you know what I mean?
So, people need to start. I'm not advocating violence at all, but people need to start putting out justice to these folks. If you're standing near them, you need to point them out, and we need to get rid of them for the support, because it's not acceptable.
Well, Jason, here's the guy in the chat room, Jerry O'Neill, says, seems to be more of an internet issue than with folk at the game. Should be more responsible, but chill out.
But chill out. That was my pal's leg, the big hole in his leg.
Yeah, I can't say I'm backing Jerry there. I think, listen.
Nah.
I'm the same, but I think he's maybe saying, like, what are people at the game doing about it? If nobody's saying nothing, it's just going to keep carrying on. Eh?
Well, somebody needs to start throwing a few cuffs. You know what I mean? Just somebody gets smacked in the back of the ear. You know what I mean? Here, you.
At the end of the day, when I was young and daft, and you were going up to naked when you were on the bus, the older guys in the bus went along and putting you right.
I'll go.
Can I just say something before I go? And
yes.
I leave you to your show. I've actually quit this week, believe it or not. It's just to say to Paul, I know you were saying you're under a lot of stress writing this book, but keep the heat up. Because there's a lot of Celtic fans behind you, and I think it seems to be growing, the people behind you with the book, and I think you'll be rewarded. I'm sure it'll do well, and you'll have less stress once the book launch is over. It's just to say all the best, and don't let the bastards win.
No, well, I appreciate that, James, and as stressful as it gets, that's something I'm never going to do, so I appreciate that, mate, thanks.
Right, okay. I'll drop my call then, and I'll listen in, and I'll maybe get you another time. But as I said, I know this other guy's coming on, and I want to hear him. And you don't need somebody like me butting in talking a lot of shite at him. So, as usual,
does, mate.
Well, that's true. But as I said, I'm just happy after Saturday, and I'm looking forward to Wednesday. And I hear that Champions League music again. He's did it at the beginning. Absolutely amazing. I hope every year we're going to have it. Hopefully. So all the best, and I'll catch you later.
No problem, James. Take it easy.
Cheers, mate.
Bye. We've had a caller on the phone line. Are you there?
Hello.
Alistair.
Yeah, it's Joe. Hiya.
What's the crack, Alistair? How you doing?
No bad, mate. Listen, it was just to clear up what you were talking about Saturday there. I was there near where the guy get hurt with the leg in the disabled section, and basically I get smoke in my eyes and my throat, and I had a chest infection as it was anyway, so in the disabled section. So let me tell you, I'm not a big fan of the ultras, and can I just say before I get your thoughts on it, it wasn't the Green Brigade, it was the ultras that flew in. I've got no time for the beginning. It's all the hangers on that are classing themselves as part of the Green Brigade, you know, and it's failing the guy, you know. I mean, every time they get the blame for all the shit that happens, and it's not fair.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't know for a fact it was, but I don't think it was Green Brigade myself. But
No,
at the end of the day,
no.
I'm not really bothering who it was, to be honest with you, Alistair. It was a Celtic supporter, so it was one of us. It was it was part of the Celtic support that done it. So no point denying it. But we need to get rid of this element of the support. Absolutely. I mean, there's no question about it for me. It's absolutely stupid. It's going to cost the club a lot of money, but even more serious than that, it could cost a bloody serious injury to football.
It's going to take, Jason, it's going to take either somebody getting caught up behind closed doors, and I'm sorry I have to say that, but that's what it's going to take for all these guys saying, we need to stop it now. We're not in Turkey, we're not in Greece. It's not part of our culture. Mm-hmm. We don't need to do that to be good supporters. So just back the team and sing the song, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, at the end of the day, the Green Brigade have created a bit of an ultra culture, and I love it. I think it's really good. But
no, I'm not a big fan of the Green Brigade.
Exactly. The colour they bring in the songs, it's brilliant. I love it, and I'd back the lads up, definitely. But this sort of sinister element, I'm not saying it's them, but there's a sinister element creeping in with these bangers and stuff like that, and it is just basically bangers that are throwing them, as far as I'm concerned.
I know, but on the Fitbit side, can I just say the boys were immense, and I was delighted to see Pukki getting a goal, so that was really good. That kind of capped the deal for me.
Let's talk about the football.
Yeah, because we're going over this all. I'm just watching the chat room here. Some people are obviously disagreeing with us. Listen, if you want to disagree with us, absolutely give us a ring in. We'll debate this properly at some point this evening. But
people in the chat room saying the support bangers at the football.
Yeah.
Hopefully the boys will do the business on Wednesday, and why no 1-1 nothing. See what this going with a defeated attitude. Well, as long as we put up a good performance, get torn in, see what happens.
Get torn in, yeah.
That's the kind of talk we want here, Alistair.
Get torn in, see what happens. But no, can I just say to all four of you, thanks for that's a great platform for these guys, and especially to Harper, because I know it was his baby, because he set it up in the first place, and it was his idea. Keep up the good work, David, and thanks a lot. It means a lot. It's a lot of good stuff on here. Certainly beats listening to that shouting Radio Clyde, you know.
Yeah, turn off Clyde, support your side. I haven't used that one in a while.
Cheers, Alistair, but I think you're maybe giving me a wee bit too much credit there.
That's your problem, mate. You're too modest.
It was myself and Joe that started it.
You're too modest.
He can't get out his bed, Alistair. He's going to get bed at 8 o'clock and you're giving him all the praises.
Here, when we're all done washing...
I know, well, it's the first time I've spoken to him, Jason. Give me a break.
Hey, man, when we're all done washing Hopper's balls, can we get back and talk about football here?
Because we've only got about 5 minutes before we get your man.
I know, mate. I've got my team for the Wednesday, so I wrote it down, so I'll let you hear it and then I'll go off.
Go for it, Alistair.
You've got a guy coming on at 8 o'clock, so that's how I'm phoning you the new. I've got went for Foster and goal, Matthews, Ostick, Van Dijk and Mulgrew at left back. I wouldn't play Izzy, basically because I think they would target him because he's not the best defensively.
Okay.
In midfield, I went for Brown, Oedley, Commons, and Director. And after front, I went for Sammy and Stokes.
No Ambrose?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
I know he'll play Ambrose, but I wouldn't.
Right.
I don't think it's a night for chance takers, to be honest. I like Ostick at centre half.
It seems like you've picked a fairly stable team there, one that's going to be able to soak up a lot of pressure.
But I know that's a team You'll no pick, but that's the team I would pick.
I've got to tell you something, right? We're kind of all over the place here with the show, but I think Milan away is our best chance of picking up points away in this Champions League. I think especially it's the first game, because I think teams are always cagey in their first game. You ever see Celtic? Hang on, Alistair, hang on. Right. I'm saying the teams are often more cagey, I think, the first game, because as much as they want to win, they definitely didn't want to lose. So I think this is a game that we could maybe take someone for this game, and I fancy a 1-each draw as well.
So yeah, and I've got a funny feeling Scott Brown's going to be going out of his way to try and noise up Balotelli.
I don't think you need to get your way far.
I know what I'm saying. I was earlier when
we get sent off.
What?
Head case.
He is a head case, but see when he's on his game, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, I know that, but you know something, in the tunnel, somebody should wind him up. I mean, it goes on. I mean, we wouldn't be the first European team to try it, you know?
I think that's a good point. I think that's something. I doubt that's going to be a tactic, but I think like Scott Brown's personality, I think he'll know, that if he just puts in a tackle here and there and just gets in his ear, you might be able to at least affect him in the game. And the more you can affect him, I mean, if you can affect his performance negatively, perfect. I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to shut him down. Like, I mean, but just try and get into him.
Well, no, but I think Harper's probably got a fair shout. They wouldn't have been their best chance, because everybody starts sequel, and we certainly shouldn't fear Milan. We shouldn't fear them. We shouldn't fear anybody in this group, come to think it, even Barcelona. Even, maybe it's me. Maybe I've been in the drink too much.
You've been on the cooking sherry, right?
No, I don't. Honestly, I think we should fear anybody. I mean, we beat all these teams, so why no? Why no?
Yep.
Why no? But make sure the sub. I always say that. Make sure the sub, and anything else is a bonus, and we'll take it from there. But anyway, guys, all the best. Love the show, and I'll speak to you all soon. Okay?
No problem, Master. Mate, always good to hear from you, pal. Alright. Take it easy, man.
No worries, mate.
Right.
Bye now. Bye.
Right. We're right on the edge of 8 o'clock, and we've got our guest calling in. Should we just?
I'm going to get Alistair to write my biography.
It was like This Is Your Life as it was.
Should we talk briefly about the game then before we get?
Is anybody at the game? Paul,
Aye, I was.
What did you think?
I mean, what Joe said earlier, I mean, it's the Hearts team was really the first time I'd seen them as well, and I have to say, I mean, maybe it shows you how bad the SPL is, but how that team has actually managed to beat teams with 10 men like they beat Aberdeen as well, because they've got absolutely nothing in the team. Mm-hmm. There's no experience here, there's none. I mean, Celtic, I think the first half 70% possession, second half 68% possession. I mean, we were just dominated from start to finish. We had a brief 5 minutes when they scored out of nothing. We stepped up again, we scored again. I thought it was a phenomenal finish for Stokes. Totally cool, calm, collective. Great flick on for Commons as well.
Yes.
But I thought it was a great goal, and of course the skill for Stokes for the Pukki goal was just sublime. I mean, the amount of strikers that would have actually given that up far less would try to do that. It was just, I mean.
See when the ball ricocheted off the defender, and he still chased it up.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, he seems sharper than I think I've ever seen him.
He's brilliant.
And to be honest with you, I think this season could be something that catapults him to being the player we've all been wanting to see, because especially now with the Ireland manager being changed, Well,
there's a lot of onus on Stokes this season, obviously without Hooper being there and new guys coming in. So when Samaras is on the bench like he was on Saturday, Stokes is your most experienced man up front there. He's the man leading the line. He's the man that's got to create stuff. He's the man that's got to be in there and get on the end of things. And he had a great game on Saturday. You can't never put a foot wrong,
It was phenomenal. I mean,
it'd be interesting to see what kind of relationship he builds up with your man Pukki. But it was great that he gave him his first goal, basically, so that's a good start for him.
What?
Liverpool's getting beat 1-0. John Joe Shelby just scored for Swansea. Yeah, dancer. Sorry.
We outburst there.
Sidetracked here.
Anyway, I think we're ready to move off the game anyway. This first half hour has been all over the place. We've been in Milan.
I've got all this, I had this list of subjects I was going to carefully carve my way through, but we've done them all now.
We've done it all in 20 minutes. Just to sum up then for myself, it was a good win. It was an easy win in the end, although Hearts were slightly better than I thought they were going to be. It was like playing against One Direction, actually. There was that many wee boys running about with their mad cliffs. And I was gassed anyway. I can't remember actually a lot of the game. I was pissed at my brains.
And here, do you see that wee lad just mentioned One Direction? He's had to pull out of the charity game for Doncaster Rovers because of his injury.
Paul, I was talking to Joe just before we come on air, and it was a Kevin Smith podcast, Hollywood Babylon.
Aye, I know what you mean, aye.
And he Celtic got a mention on that this week because we're talking about your man puking up inside the pitch. And it was also on, I don't know if any of your women watch E News, that channel on Sky. Well, it was on that last week, and I was showing them with the Celtic top on, which was actually brilliant for us.
That's the same.
The amount of wee lasses that went out and bought that Strictly.
I'd say the marketing department, they're just patting each other on the back every day, going, "That was a."
You should bring out a strip with puke marks stored in the front of it.
Here it is. They're actually auctioning us off his shirt on eBay, and they had it up. And the first comment was, "Have you cleaned the spew off yet?"
Well, seemingly the boy Gabriel Abongo got 25,000 tweets in 3 hours about it.
Fucking death threats. Anyway, we've had a phone.
I know. I just seen that. Thanks.
We've had a phone call. We've had a phone call on the line. Are you there?
Yes, I'm mate. It's Thomas here. Thomas Rannigan.
Thomas Rannigan, the man we're waiting for. Thomas. Jason, do you want to lead this first? Because you seem to know more.
I'll lead it. How you doing, Thomas? It's Jason here.
Hi, Jason. How's things, mate? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. So obviously, your good pal Jeanette gave us a wee shout last week to get you on the show. So it's a pleasure to get you on. So you're going to be standing in the Govan by-election with another 13 candidates. You're going to be standing under the banner Axe the Act. So
that's it.
Just tell the listeners a wee bit about your motivation, how you decided to go for this, and what you're hoping to achieve when you go up and stand in Govan.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, I'm up against some other candidates. I'm an independent. I've got some good backing behind me there. You mentioned Jeanette, namely being one of them. I'm just doing this. I'm standing against the Offensive Behaviour in Football and Threatening Communications Act. To give it its full title, I think we all know where I'm coming from with that bill. I'm standing against that. Various reasons there, Jason. A football fan, my family are football fans as well, kids as well, I'm talking about here. So I'm just trying to give a voice, really, or a more public voice, rather, to everyone who's kind of, either been found foul of this bill, or just downright doesn't like it. So that's the angle I'm coming from with it. I'm a fan, and it's going to sound a bit cliche, but I'm a fan of freedom of speech and democracy. I do believe in social justice. Scotland, at the end of the day, is Glasgow, Yep. And I don't, from the bottom of my heart, I think anyone should be able to express their culture and identity. You shouldn't feel persecuted or be persecuted for doing that. There's bigger things to worry about. There really is. And there's, certain individuals, certain groups will get hammered for doing that, whether it's at a football match or not. Often a football match is just an outlet, So that's where my motivation comes from. These are the main reasons why I'm tackling it. I work a lot with younger people, kind of 16 to 24-year-old group, and a lot of I spoke with people who have maybe got a charge coming up, or have been charged previously, and I help try to get them into work, education, training, that kind of thing, and it's hard enough, especially in this climate. But any of these guys and girls who have, worried about this because they've got a pending charge on them and stuff like that, It just makes it so much harder, and it's destroying their lives. It really is, and there's not a government, doesn't matter who's in power, they always have to be seen and always genuinely want to get employment figures up or down rather than get people into work, that kind of thing. This bill is just completely going against that. It's made it so much harder for these kids. That's where I'm coming from with it.
No, brilliant, mate. And the thing is, like, take Saturday for instance. Obviously, this is a Celtic show, so obviously we're more concerned about Celtic and whatever. But and I was part of and Joe McKenna was there as well. We were at the Fans Against Criminalisation demonstration in George Square, and then marched up to Celtic Park, and we took part in that. Delighted to take part and help there.
Brilliant.
And but at the weekend there, we seen like another sinister turn with Motherwell fans this time at St Mirren. And some of the pictures that came out and some of the footage, it's absolutely shocking. And the amount of police that were in attendance at St Mirren Park, and undercover police as well, like plainclothes policemen all standing looking at the Motherwell support. And I just find it incredible. And they're also, I go on one of the Celtic forums, and there was one of the pubs in Glasgow city centre had 2 or 3 riot vans outside it on Saturday night. They tailed Celtic fans for Tynecastle. And this isn't football hooligans, this is just normal Celtic supporters. They tailed them all the way for Tynecastle, and then they'd plainclothes policemen in the pub to see what songs they were singing in the pub.
See, that is it. It seems to me that there's only a certain individual or certain type of person that's got a problem with this, and it seems to be the SNP and the police, or the SNP and they make the police do the work for them. I mean, like you say, tailing them all the way, the guys all the way back from Edinburgh. That's madness. The police budget, they'll be trailing them to Milan on Wednesday night. There'll be budgets sending plainclothes policemen to Milan when there isn't one Celtic fan that's going over there with the intention of causing trouble. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, and it was interesting. You mentioned Motherwell and stuff like that there, and then it's St Mirren as well. It is for, as I said, first of all, it's for football fans. It's not any one particular team, it's across the board, and it seems to be, it's only if a police officer takes offence to what you're behaving, if you're waving your flag aggressively, what you sing, if a single officer takes offence at that, no like me to you and you to me or whatever else, that's when you're going to get charged for this. And you talked about the cost. I said this a while back there in another show, was that the last I checked, the focus group, which these are the guys that are, as you said, waiting in the vans, the ones with the audio visual equipment, searching kids going into grounds and whatnot, they got from the Scottish Government £1.8 million over the last 2 financial years. The money that they were allocated, it comes from a fund that's supposed to help tackle sectarianism and bigotry in this country, all right? When you look at all the other recipients in the last 2 years and how much they got, the closest to them was a group who got £300,000 over the 2 years, so 150k each, yet they're giving the focus group 1.8 million at the last count. It's 6 times more than the closest, and then before then it's only you get guys who are getting a couple of grand here or there, tens of thousands of pounds. This is millions of pounds that's getting wasted. It's just money for spying, and the hope that some officer gets offended by something that he doesn't like, that they can try and charge somebody under this bill. My interpretation of it is just trying to throw is from the people that the people that I work with and speak with in various groups. We know that majority of there's a large percentage of those charges don't stick. They're getting thrown out of court, and quite often publicly as well. This is just a waste of money, and I just think that they're giving it to police because they want they know that way that the more you throw at them, some will get through, kind of thing, to try and boost the statistics. And it's just money. It's thrown it in the drain. If the SNP is supposed to be serving these communities, Alex Salmond wants to build up Scottish communities and help at the grassroots level. See that £1.8 million? Imagine how good that would do. Mm-hmm. I live in the East End of Glasgow. I can, just looking out the window, point about 3 or 4 areas or projects that would benefit from a fraction of that 1.8 million. So you're right to mention the police presence there and the cost. It just doesn't. It's madness. It's absolute ludicrous, Aye,
and I mean, at the end of the day, see in the 80s, obviously Thatcher and whatever turned on like football hooligans, and they made them out to be some sort of group of serial killers. So the crimes that football hooligans, the crimes that they commit when they're batting lumps at each other, and the sort of punishment that goes along with it, they're ending up with years in jail. And then you see people that are getting up to heinous crimes, getting off with community service and scot free. It just doesn't seem right for me.
It doesn't stack up. It just doesn't stack up at all. You tend to. I mean, I don't know if it's maybe it's just my mind, but you tend to. You can list you use the word heinous, your most heinous crimes. You can kind of bring them down till you get to the guy who drops litter on the street. So you've got the top of the piles, the most extreme ones. I read some information. It's madness. Is that the Crown Office in Scotland, directed usually by the government, obviously the SNP in this case, they only ever appeal against a couple of, if a decision they're not happy with through the court, they'll appeal it, and they'll do that maybe 2 or 3 a year. They actually appealed against one of the charges, that was thrown out of court from a Celtic fan who was found, there was no charge, no case to answer. So they actually appealed that, which will cost the public purse an absolute fortune. That is just madness in my eyes. See if it was someone, a convicted paedophile or rapist, or these heinous crimes that you mentioned, and the guy was let off. You can understand the Crown Office then wanting to go and appeal that. That makes sense to everybody. For some guy who sang a song, who the property at Fiscal, the judge just says that no case to answer, lets him off, and then they come after him, they appeal that. That's a witch hunt in my eyes. That is a witch hunt. They're just out to insist that this daft bill actually works when it doesn't. It's madness. It really is. It doesn't make sense at all, and it's total victimisation of football fans. Total victimisation of people trying to express their identity and culture, to remember something that's happened in the past.
Or in Motherwell fans' case, just try to support their team.
Well, just try to support your team. It's you're not allowed to now. You get told. I think if you want to be a football fan, you need to be told how to be a football fan. I think under a certain minister's eyes, you have to behave a certain way to even support a certain team. Football you're supposed to go and have a laugh. It's an outlet for a lot of people, whether it's in an evening or whether it's a Saturday or Sunday. That's your wee release there, and whether you have a wee drink before it, after it, whatever. That's your a lot of guys, that is their thing. That they graft 40, 50 hours a week. They want their wee release, but now they're terrified in case they say something wrong, and they might not have a job to go to on Monday because they get put in the jail, for a
and see, that's the part of it that sort of is baffling, and it's very, very sinister. The things that are actually happening in the back of stuff. Paul, what's your view? You've got quite strong views on this stuff.
Well, I think that this is obviously a political time bomb for the SNP, and quite honestly, I think they would probably drop it tomorrow if they could get away with it, but they're clearly not going to do that because it's been an absolute disaster. As Thomas says, all this pressure and grief they're giving people, getting them to court, and judges are just saying, no case to answer, goodbye. And then they're going after people. I mean, we're in times of austerity. We're in times when the public purse is getting squeezed left, right, and centre. And here we are wasting millions of pounds going after young boys that sing at football matches. So it's incredible. But what I wanted to ask Thomas was, let's just say you get a successful outcome here, Thomas. What would you be looking to do upon being elected?
For myself, I think the ideal aim here would eventually be to get this bill repealed. Breach of the peace charge, which everyone knows, it's been around for a long time. It covers the majority of anything, for what these boys and girls are being charged with, or what they're perceived to have did. A breach of the peace is enough. The police have said, breach of peace. It's a cover-all kind of thing. That's the ideal aim would be to get this bill repealed. But like you mentioned, and I think that you're right to say that there, that the SNP would drop it like a hot stone if they could. Yeah. But he's not going to do it, unfortunately. In an ideal world, that's what we would do. If elected, we need to. There's groups out there. There's legal bodies out there that are looking to represent fans. Anyone from wherever they may be who fall foul of this, I'd like to take that up as well. To have a voice there. If you're a councillor, you're an elected official there, to be taking up these people's cases and stuff like that, because what and I'm not going to get down on the police. They've been directed to do something, but what the police, what the SNP, what they're not seeing is the human costs that this can destroy lives. Whether it's it doesn't matter if you're a 16-year-old, doesn't matter if you're a 60-year-old. It destroys lives. People, we've all got enough to worry about, to worry about whether you're going to be getting charged, fined, put in jail. That's horrendous. That's where I'd be coming from. I'd be taking up to draw attention to that fact, to draw attention to what happens once you're charged. You may have to wait 6 months for court or whatever it may be. That's a jail sentence in itself. I want to highlight that. I want to offer support, whether it's personally, whether I can get Drip to do it again, for these people and try and show the human cost, the disruption that it's causing through the SNP, and to let these people know that they have elected an official there, that they've got somebody that will come to them, that will fight for them, regardless of whatever the circumstance may be, whatever, whoever the support, it doesn't matter. It's just if you're a fan, or if you're not even a fan, you might not be into football, that's the thing. You don't need to go to a game to be charged under this. That's where I'd be looking to get involved.
Just to clarify for people, Thomas, this is in Govan on October the 10th election, is that right?
It is, polling day, the 10th of October, in Govan. It's a big ward that covers various areas like Kinnan Park and Tradeston and stuff like that. Ward 5, if you Google it or go on the council website, you'll see the full area. It is massive. Last day, something we've beaten them about is actually being registered to vote. The last day to register to vote is the 25th of September. I can't stress that enough. If your name's not down, I can't get in. So please register. If anyone's listening, encourage others, if you know who live in that ward, to register to vote very importantly before the 25th of September, please.
Fantastic.
No, more power to you, mate. I mean, at the end of the day, talk's cheap with a load of people, and you're gonna off your arse and go and do something about it. And for that, you've got to be commended. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody can disagree with anything you're saying. I mean, you're not changing the world with this type of stuff, but... No, sorry, on you go, mate.
So, no, I think you're right. I mean, because I think that's the thing. It is hard to do, and I'm not just saying it because it's me or whatever. It doesn't matter if I didn't like football, but I couldn't disagree with this if anyone was saying this either. If I hear it's going on, to most people it just makes sense. That's the thing,
See as well. It was interesting. With the thing that happened to the Motherwell fans in Paisley at the weekend, it's kind of raised the profile of this again a wee bit. Because there is a misconception, I think, with a lot of fans out there that this is a Celtic thing. It's 100% definitely not. I mean, I even heard it in the pub here in Ireland at the weekend when they were showing the flares and the Hearts fans. They were saying, well, none will happen to the Hearts fans, it'll just be Celtic fans that gets done. But that isn't the case at all, And it is raising the profile a wee bit. And I've seen a lot of people talking about it on Facebook today, non-Celtic fans. So it always gets a wee bit, I think, there's a wee bit of rivalry comes in that, it's just Celtic fans moan again, but that's not the case at all. So I'd urge any football fan, I mean, there's not going to be anybody else apart from Celtic fans listening to this, obviously, but I'd urge any football fan to get involved and open their eyes and see what's going on with it.
Yeah, that's. I appreciate you saying that as well, and that is the thing. Is the police? They're kind of making their job a wee bit easier, I guess, and like you said, highlighting this, so it's not just a Celtic fan. It's not, it's like you say, it's Motherwell and obviously Hibs fan. It's everyone. It could be Scotland fans as well. I mean, if you look into the Act, you can actually be charged for singing Scotland, for singing Flower of Scotland. Depending on how you sing it and how a policeman perceives you to be singing it. That's nuts. That's the Scottish National Party who are doing that. So it's across the board.
That's crazy. I mean, Thomas, at the end of the day, I mean, like, it could just be said that you're standing for common sense. You know what I mean? Because it makes sense to everybody. Going, why would you put that kind of power in one person's hands? Why would you let someone be subjective about how you behave? I mean, what is this? Fucking 1984?
George,
on you go, Harper.
George, think I'm quite interested to see. Well, obviously, I hope it doesn't happen. But if there was a big group of fans here, Joe, were arrested for singing the Irish national anthem, for example, right? And you're put in the cells for the weekend. The boys are going to come right here, and they're going to go to the local TD and say, "Wait a minute, I was arrested in Scotland for singing the Irish national anthem. What are you going to do about it?" Do you know what I mean? I'd be right up to to Jerry Adams' door here in Drogheda, and his what do you call it? What do you call it? They've got the
his house.
Constituency office.
No, it's the office. It's here in Drogheda.
Safe house. It's called safe house.
But you know what I mean. But what I mean is, like, people, and that would raise an interesting thing if people started going to their MPs here in Ireland to ask them, why have we been arrested in another country for singing the Irish national anthem? Because that's, as you say, that's potentially something that could happen. Like.
Well, it's bordering on sort of fascism. You know what the police are trying to enforce here. When you think about when Spain was under the fascist dictator Franco, I mean, you weren't allowed to have a public gathering of more than 4 people. You weren't allowed to put posters up on the wall, and this was just up to the mid-80s. You know, so it was they enforced that. The military junta enforced that, and it's like, maybe it's not as severe as that, but in a football context, when you're going to a football game, they are trying to impose sort of fascist laws on football supporters.
I mean, like,
there's no two ways about it. That's what they're trying to impose.
I mean,
well, but that is exactly it. You know, that they are imposing it on, and it is just football fans, rugby fans. You know, that doesn't come into play. There's so many comparisons you could make between going to a football match and a rugby match, but this doesn't exist in a rugby ground. Pretty much, you know, it's just solely for us guys who like the round ball. And it is, you know, you're using words like fascist and stuff like that, but that's what it is. And you know, as you mentioned earlier on, I think, as you're saying, sorry, if the SNP could drop it, they would. I think they don't realise the territory they've walked into and how far this has actually gone. And it's that way, you know, you go so far you can back out of it, but it smacks of all of this now. You know, they've just went right down a road to never wanted to take it down. And I'm just one of thousands, of tens of thousands, your guys yourselves, you know, who are just not taking it. They're just, you know, whether it's direct action, whether it's talking to somebody, whether it's a letter, a tweet, or just voicing your opposition, it's there. Then people won't put up with that, especially in a country like Scotland. You know, it's just not going to happen.
See, from my personal position, Thomas, I was always brought up in a sort of working class, the stereotypical cliche, a working class sort of Irish descent, West of Scotland Catholic household, and it was always the done thing to vote Labour, and my father and his father before him always voted Labour, and I did when I started voting, but then I realised, I said, well, wait a minute, I'm a Republican here, and I just disagree with, I don't want to vote for royal parasites. So in that context, Labour and Conservative are both unionist parties, so I voted for the SNP a couple of times, but then you read into it and they're a pile of shit, to be honest with you. But I still agree for Scotland. I would still vote for Scottish independence. But this is where the waters are getting murky, because people think voting for Scottish independence is voting for the SNP, which it's not at all. But that's a lot of people's perceptions. And this bill and just what you're talking about, I won't vote SNP. Whereas before it, I would potentially maybe vote SNP, not because I totally believe in their politics, but I disagree with most of the other mainstream parties. And, you know, so someone like myself, it's had a big impact on me and the way I'll vote in future. Absolutely. Because I spend half my life going to football games. So,
Socialist Party.
Well, I'm going to say negative about them, but they're not really going to do much, are they?
I vote Sinn Féin, to be honest, out here.
You live in Ireland. We're talking about government by-election here, Harper.
Yeah, right though. You know, you see, because there's a lot of people who are SNP supporters who agree with a lot of their policies and whatnot, but are a football fan. You know, and this will cost votes. It's definitely going to happen. This is a protest vote that I'm going on. You know, I'm just going to try and take as many votes from them as I can. And I believe we'll make a good stab at it. We'll get a significant number of them there. If this was a general election, that would be a serious, if we're not worried about this just now, and in a full-scale election, this would be a serious worry for the SNP. Because football in Scotland, you know, it's what we do. I feel like you can't even mess with that. You can't mess with people's identity and their culture, which they often express when they get that social outlet at a game. It's too big. It's too important. You know, so it can turn the most ardent, staunch ally of theirs. It can turn them against them. But we need them to realise that and to look at this. And I say the ultimate aim is to have it to be abolished, to get this repealed before the cost them dearly at the polls.
Yep. So I wish you every luck in your quest.
Well, thanks very much. I appreciate the time you've given me just now, guys. And also, I'd like maybe give you updates, as we go down. And
Absolutely,
Thomas. Yes.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Just every week, every couple of weeks, you want to call in, just give us a wee update. We'll call it the Thomas update.
Yes, that'll be ideal. And if you don't mind, if I just re-mention that if anyone wants to follow on Twitter, it's @ActGovern. You can get updates on there as well. And there's also a Facebook page, Act the Act Thomas Rannikin. You can catch us on either of those, and the contact details for email and stuff is there. And we'll happily respond or take any queries or whatever if anyone's got any for us.
Have you got the email address there as well? You can give it to the listeners.
Yeah, I have. It's @_the_act@outlook.com.
I've actually tweeted that for the HomeBhoys account already. Both your Twitter accounts and the email.
Okay.
Oh, that's excellent. Thanks for that. Yeah. So any contact, any queries, any office support, we'll take that up with you and be in touch very soon. Okay.
Brilliant, Thomas. Obviously, best of luck, Thomas, and please do get in contact again because this is something that's very, very, very close to our hearts, something we're all very concerned with, and I think all football fans are very concerned with now. Because not only does it affect people personally, but on the overall sort of picture of the thing. Given the fact that Scottish football is kind of half in the toilet, this doesn't help.
Yeah, no, totally. You're absolutely right. And again, this is reasons for why myself, the support I've got, why we're here and why we're doing this. So I appreciate the kind words. That's brilliant.
So is it? You were made a link for the show, Thomas. See when the show's finished, when we publish it, what we'll do is we'll send you the link of the show, and then you can tweet that out to your sort of followers, and they can listen back. Obviously, if they're not listening live or anything like that. Yeah,
no, that's excellent. I appreciate that. I'll get that tweeted out as soon as it comes through. Then, alrighty.
Okay, Thomas.
Thomas, this is my best of luck to you. Thanks very much for calling.
Cheers, Thomas.
Thanks very much
for coming on, mate. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Cheers. Fair play to the guy. Fair play to the guy. Tell you. We're heading towards...
it's all right talking about stuff, but actually getting off your arse and going and doing something about it, there's a big difference.
Yeah, as I open another beer.
You're giving the guys a platform, Joe.
I hear. Sweat on my brow from all this work.
Aye. So what's the crack for Wednesday? What do we reckon? He's going to your new CSC to watch it.
I may take a wee trip up. I'll tell you, mate.
I'll be busy. I think they had upwards of 30 in for the Carragandi game, so I'd be expecting a decent sized crowd on Wednesday night. Okay. And there'll be sandwiches and sausages and sausage rolls and all that kind of stuff laid on. So anybody who's in the area, pop into Sarsfields. Some nonsense CSC will be there.
Happy days. What do you think the chances are? I honestly think we can get a result.
Well, as I said earlier, I do honestly believe if you're away from home in the first Champions League game, it's the one tie you sometimes see a lot of draws, a lot of close games, because I think teams didn't want to lose at home the first game, and they didn't want to lose the first game home or away. But I do think that it gives us a good chance, as good a chance as we're going to have anyway. Let's forget we'll have to punch well above our weight to take anything from Milan. Maybe know the force they were 5-6 years ago, but they're still a top side. Let's not
absolutely
make any bonds about it,
But if we focus on the team we have, you've got guys in there with some experience. Plus, you got guys like Stokes. He never really got a chance in the Champions League.
Definitely, aye.
And he's out there to prove himself,
I do worry about us being a bit vulnerable at the back. I just don't know for that level. I don't know, and I'll tell you something. I've got real concerns over Fraser Foster this season. He's still a great shot stopper, but he seems to have regressed a wee bit to the cross balls and all that kind of thing. It's a bit of a worry,
Yeah, there's a lot of punching going on, isn't there?
So hopefully it's kind of the form that's kind of carried on for the end of last season, which is a bit of a worry for me. As I say, he's still a great shot stopper and that, but he was paramount to us getting in the last 16 last season. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah.
The saves that he had against Barcelona and that. So, I mean, we need everybody to be playing at the top of their game, but especially the goalkeeper and the defence and the guys in the midfield are going to be key as well, because they're going to have to protect that defence as well as they can. Because Milan are a team that's going to try and play football in the boot you. They're going to be a bit like Barcelona. They're not going to fling a lot of crosses into the box, I don't think. So, well, they've got Balotelli up there right enough, but I don't know. They're going to play a lot of fast football, so we just need to be in their faces. Don't be standing off them. Don't be giving them too much respect. And a bit them from the start. Get tore in as Alistair said.
I think someone like Van Dijk, because I mean, it was only at the weekend watching the game that I realised how big Van Dijk is. I mean, because you stand next to Fraser Forster, and he may have been a slight inch bigger than Forster. I was like, that's a big guy. So I got a funny feeling that his job might be just to try and stay on Balotelli, because Balotelli's big and he's strong, but Van Dijk looks like he's the same sort of. I mean, he can handle himself. I think obviously he's still settling in, but he definitely seems like he could be a real linchpin in the defence. You know what I mean?
Can I just cut in and pick Harper up on something there? You sort of gave us your rundown of how Milan are going to play. Tell us how you know this. If you want to.
No, well,
this fast passing and all. You gave a right professional rundown. Because hey, whoa. We've got a guy sitting in the panel here that's been scouting the team. If you're listening to Mr. Larkin on Twitter the other night, he's going to give us a full rundown on how they play. Unless you're made up pish for the backs of the boys.
I tell you, I spent all Sunday watching YouTube videos and forming an opinion of hundreds of notes here in front of me.
Do you know, I was actually gutted, Paul, because I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game on Sunday, but see Torino couldn't have beat them for. When was the last time Torino beat them? It must have been donkeys ago. I mean, up with 10 to go or something. Was it?
I mean, it was really difficult to tell what Milan would be like, because they looked like they were playing within themselves on Saturday. Torino played a 3-5-2, gave them a hell of a lot of problems, Milan. They're playing with the front two strikers, Balotelli and Robinho, who didn't run at all, no width whatsoever. And if I was Neil Lennon, I'd be tempted to go with a back three of Lustig, Van Dijk and Ambrose, with Van Dijk and Lustig picking up they two and Ambrose just sweeping around them. Because I think where we can actually do some real damage is on the flanks through Zagiri and Matthews as wing backs, because Milan were very susceptible to getting, losing balls in behind them and all that kind of thing. I mean, what I would say is they're a very, very physical team. And Nigel De Jong in the middle of the park is an animal. This guy is Viro Gattuso Mark II.
I've always hated that guy.
Aye, so you're going to see a battle between him and Scott Brown, absolutely no doubt about it. Milan, they've got a winning mentality, but they're not the Milan that we know, that the previous Milan of Kaka and all that kind of thing. And as Jason said right at the start, with Kaka being out, Kaka was absolutely anonymous on Saturday. He just didn't have the legs to keep up with Torino. And I think in our team right now, we've got a lot of experience. We've got a lot of winners in the team, and we're starting to, as I said, game on Saturday, very strong team led on Saturday, very strong bench as well. A lot of options are there. And as Harper said about the first game, I think that's a massive incentive to us to go and get something for it, because we've actually never won the first game in the Champions League. And if we were to actually go and win that game on Wednesday, do you imagine the boost that would give us?
I was just thinking it myself, and that'd be an incredible platform.
I know, because then you run into 2 home games, and we know how good our home record is. And as Neil Lennon said himself, the longer we play in this Champions League, the more likely we're going to get beat at home sometime. So the away form has to be picked up. And I don't think Celtic will be overconfident, but this is no Juventus we're playing.
Yeah.
And Juventus, although they beat us 3-0 at Celtic Park, there was never 3 goals in that game.
No.
Even when they scored early, we didn't collapse. We stood toe-to-toe with them. We matched them till about 70th minute. Then they pulled away with a wee bit more quality, which you expect with a team like Juventus. They're untouchable in Italy right now. This is no Juventus we're playing. Having said that, it's a big venue to go to. It's a San Siro. It's a stadium I can't stand, to be honest. It's 40 pieces. But there are definite weaknesses in this Milan team, and of course there's weaknesses in our team, but if we can go in there and no be overawed and no give away anything stupid, and as Harper says, if Foster's on his game, because I totally agree with Harper, I think Foster was, I don't know what he was doing for the goal against Hearts on Saturday. He was like a hockey goalkeeper.
That's the thing, it was 5-a-side goalkeeping, like.
Aye, I mean, it's just, why do you not just try and save the ball, he seems to have been pretty much since, that Juventus era where he had that wee neck knock and then he came back. he's not really been the same since. But big games inspire big players, and if you'd say to people before the Barcelona game, we're winning this game without Scott Brown, without Gary Hooper, and with Miku leading the line, nobody would have believed you. We've done it. So there's nothing to fear on Wednesday whatsoever, and I think our players, sometimes, teams step out the shadows of other teams, and this could be the time that Celtic actually step out and say, you know what, we're not just here to make up the numbers, we're not here just to compete, we're actually here to go and beat you. And that might well be on Wednesday.
Oh, you've got me fucking cheered up now, Paul.
Tell me something.
Can I just tell you something just first to have a wee? Last time I seen Milan play was last time Celtic played them. And I can tell you I was pissed that night and all.
Tell me something. See, I know we drew with Benfica our first game the last. See the 0-0 draw with Aalborg. Was that our first game as well?
It was, aye. We missed a penalty that night as well.
Aye. So there you go. Aye, you're right enough. And it's. Aye, see, I never thought of that, Harper. So I know I slagged you there, maybe. You made a great point about first game. It's a chance you've got to get them.
The interesting thing is, just to be an anorak for a second, is that our first game in the Champions League proper should have been Rosenborg at home. But of course, we know 9/11 happened, the game didn't happen, and the first game ended up being Turin, which we almost got a draw out and all that kind of thing. And of course, we ended up beating Rosenborg. But it's incredible to think that the success that we've had in getting to the last 16 has been done without winning any of the first games. So you kind of are left with a mountain to climb in these games. But if you can go and win and then have 2 home games, I mean, you realistically. And I know I say it, but we're in the Champions League. You can dare to dream. If you win in Milan, you could easily in this group be looking at qualifying after 3 games.
9 points on the board, like.
Yeah, and why no?
Definitely, man. I'm with you all the way, brother.
Hey, by the way, Celtic are 91 in the bookies.
Ooh.
What price the draw?
41.
So that's worth a bet for me. I think we 20.
91. Bloody hell.
Right, well,
so Jason, we were talking about you're cheering on Ambrose this season. So, I mean, Alistair left him at his team. How would you like to see the team line up Wednesday night?
First of all, let me say Wednesday night, one of the banger in the chat room, he's supposedly coming to my bit on Wednesday night to watch the game. So I'll need the frisking folk in the front door, I'll tell you.
Who's this?
That's Jerry, the boy in the chat room. Says it was alright to throw bangers. He texts me and says, "Is that you nurse?" He's obviously at it. But anyway, who would I have on Wednesday night? I wouldn't mind the way Paul described the defence there, maybe 5 at the back with 2 wing backs.
Yeah.
Aye, I'd maybe go with that, because at the end of the day you can say play 4-4-1-1 or play 4-4-2 or play 3-5-2 or 5-3-2 or 5-3-1-1. You can make all these combinations, but you need to have guys attacking as a group. You need to have them defending as a group. So the bulk of your team, you win and lose the game in the midfield.
The Stokes got a game.
Yes.
Anthony Stokes starts the game for me, absolutely. If he doesn't start this game, there's no hope for the boy, because he's been absolutely outstanding. He's been our best player the last 2 games easily. Yeah. So, I mean, that bit of skill for that third goal, you can't buy that.
That's quick thinking like that, and that's real quick thinking.
Oh, tremendous. And then for having a guy he making his debut, what more does he want,
He looks about 9 years old, in fairness. Like.
Aye. Here's hoping he's going to produce the goods. But you're right, you made the point, Paul. He had to stand up, after we lost Hooper. And I think the world of Hooper. I think he's a top class striker. But we've played in Europe before with top key players out and stuff like that, and we've still produced the goods. But somebody like Anthony Stokes, he's in the crest of the wave at the minute. I don't think he's ever played like this in his career. I know that I've followed him at Sunderland or Hibs, but since he's been at Celtic, he's definitely never played to this level. And he's got to play. And our big game hunter Sammy, you just say to yourself, can he produce another bit of magic? But Samaras has got that ability that you can give him the ball 10 yards in your own half, and then 3-4 seconds later, you're actually 10 yards for their box. See, like he's got that turny pace that he can just take the ball away and take it for a run. And as if guys are needing a breather as well, they can get to Samaras, they can sort of calm the jets again. But we need to have a bit at the top of our game. We can write off AC Milan at our peril. They're a top class team, but they're certainly nowhere near as good as they were in 2007. And every
Aye, late on.
And
Aye, and as I say, they were late on, so that was one each for a good while. The one that I was over at the one we got beaten extra time with Kaka, he went to Maisie run. We had a couple of chances. Big Gravson had a chance at the edge of the box just before the end of the game.
We should have had a penalty that night. I remember.
Didn't Scott? Is that the game when Scott Brown had a chance clear on goal and he came off his shin or something? Same game?
No, that was that no Spartak Moscow away?
Oh, it was definitely
one of his first games in Europe.
One of his first games in AC Milan.
Yeah, Jason, see that night in San Siro, right? Were you drinking there was people going around in the stadium selling these wee bottles of like coffee stuff.
I was in the main stand. I was in their stand. We didn't get
kept in. These wee bottles of miniatures at Milan, like it was stewards coming and selling them. I think we found out after about 20 minutes there was no alcohol in them. You're not chucking these things back from buying them all left and centre.
Jason, is it the time that you got delayed for like 12 hours or something?
Aye, me and Johnny, my good mate Johnny Mackay, me or Johnny, and my mate Jock. Harper knows Jock, does the Mets boys. Jock waited outside the stadium for 4 hours with our tickets. And see the tickets we had were in the main stand, and they were a fortune. They were like €80 or whatever. And we were in, and it was freezing. And then we've got out and we're outside, and the Celtic end wasn't out yet. So we're standing about the burger vans outside, eating like these big pig rolls and that, the spit pork roast and all that, and drinking cans of Heineken. And then we spoke to somebody who was in the main stand. Our ticket entailed us to free swallow at half time. We didn't even know. Or what about?
If you remember, that was the night I was with Rennick and all that, Steve Gallagher and boys for Roy Montbossy, and we ended up in that pub with the women dressed as men, the men dressed as women. The boy was going to shoot Rennick.
That's right. Have you told me that?
He was going to shoot Rennick. Well, that was some night, man. I'll never ever forget that for the rest of my life.
It's like I said to you, Rennick's like an alcoholic Forrest Gump.
It's not very often you get guns pulled when you're in pubs like that.
Some weirdest shit happens. We've been joined by a listener, Brendan.
How you doing, lads? All right?
You there, Brendan? You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Aye.
Yes.
Just about.
Good.
Vaguely, mate.
Have you got a volume on your phone, your mate?
Yeah, I'm on the phone number again. It seems to be a problem with the phone number.
Anyway,
I'll go back and try it.
Do it with Skype, mate. It seemed to only be your phone. Aye. Cheers, mate.
I'll go back and try it.
right,
He's still got one of the beige phones, no?
One of them. Well, he's got one of them.
Everybody had in the 80s.
No, it's the dial, Hig. It's the dial.
The big grey brick with the rubber stick at the end of it.
Yeah, listen, just while we're waiting on Brendan, I had a wee announcement, so I'll just do it now in case I forget. And this was for Pat Close at the Half the World Away show. They're going to be doing a live show about noon Celtic Park time on Friday. That's Pat and Kev. So anybody who wants to tune in that, Hail Media, you'll get the Half the World Away show. And he also wanted me to mention blah blah blah. That there's going to be on Friday they'll have details of a get together for Celtic supporters in Australia next year. It'll not be quite up to the scale of the convention in Vegas, but it's important for us Tims down under nonetheless. So that's going to be a big announcement for Celtic fans in Australia for a bit of a convention that's going to be happening next year. So tune in to the boys on Hail Media at 12 noon on Friday, Celtic Park time, and you'll get the live show and all the chatting, all the rundown after beating Milan.
You.
Happy days.
Can I ask here, see on Saturday, was Matthews playing on the wing? Or was he playing right back?
He's played a kind of in the right midfield role, aye.
Aye, because I was wondering, like, because I knew he wasn't right back when he was playing like a wing. He wasn't bad, like, in fairness. He can run with the ball.
No, it's good.
I tell you what,
tell me something that he's watched. Scott Paul, did you watch the Scotland game during the week?
I did, aye.
What did you think of Mulgrew in the middle of the park with Brown?
Aye, it was pretty good. I mean, I think, it's probably something that the other managers looked at and thought, for games where we might be up against it, because I think they were kind of detailed to sort of just sit and, play it safe and kind of support when you can. But I thought Mulgrew, actually outshone Brown in the game.
He played really well.
He's used to the ball, and I know it's kind of like we're all half expecting Mulgrew to turn up in goals one day, the amount of times he gets fitted in the team, but He is an experienced player, and he's people forget he was a Player of the Year 2011-12. So
aye.
Oh
no, he's a good player, but I don't like the way it's not his preferred position. But Lennon shoehorns him in just to get him in the team. But that's got to be another option, because if we're looking at Kyle, maybe not being what we think, that's got to be an option, because Strachan's playing them for Scotland. So surely if they work there, then it's got to be an option that Lennon can think about.
Aye, and he was all right when he came on Saturday, I know, because I thought Joe Ledley was anonymous. I don't know what was wrong with him, but
he's not been good this season at all. I don't think.
Aye, he's good for Wales or not.
We've got this Israeli fella coming in as well. Obviously, he's not playing tomorrow night. Wednesday night, but. Do
you think Kyle's a bit of a dud now? I think that's we can kind of say that, or has he got 4 months left in him so we can see?
Well, I tell you, he's going to have to turn things around pretty quickly, because I think in the majority. Actually, that annoys me, the way he huffs and puffs his cheeks whenever he Jesus Christ!
Somebody read Chinese.
Is that the alarm bell?
Brandon, you there, mate?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can definitely hear you.
Perfect.
Good, that's on the Skype then, not that phone number you keep giving me.
The phone number's alright, it's your phone.
yeah, Alistair phones in alright and that number, doesn't he?
Aye, Alistair's the man.
So did Thomas.
Aye, Thomas called in on the phone number as well.
See that,
you're south of the border, mate, aren't you? That's what it is.
I think we'll get a point Wednesday.
You think so, mate? Aye.
Yeah, I think we'll get a point. I mean, if we get three points, absolutely fantastic. But I'd set a point there first game away from home. Not a bad start to it.
Totally agree.
Definitely, I take that as well. Aye, absolutely. I just hope I'm not as sick as I was at Barcelona last year.
Oh, I know. Got him. I'll give you my team for Wednesday. Obviously, Foster in goals. Izagiri left back. Lustig right back. The big Dutch guy, which is Van Dijk, in the centre.
Van Dijk.
I think I'll play Ambrose. I mean, I've been one of the biggest critics, but I think he's played well the last few games.
Yep.
I know Harper don't fancy him in there because you've always got a chance. I'll play Mulgrew and Brown in centre midfield after the 2 games play for Scotland. I thought they did really well in there. Nice and solid.
You take Ledley out then?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because I did think he did too much Saturday. I think he's carrying injury, isn't he?
Don't know. There's something not quite right, because he's just not been.
I've seen something either on Twitter or somewhere else that he's carrying a bit of an injury. I think Sam in the left, Matthews on the right, and I played Collins behind Stokes. Stokes has got to play. The form he's in, he's got to play.
So you're benching Borictor?
Yes.
I would kind of bench him as well, to be honest with you. I don't think he's proved it.
Hang on.
Play in this game.
He certainly knows how to cross the ball, though.
Aye, but so does Commons, so does Mulgrew.
Don't forget, these guys that played to a system last year. They did pretty well.
Yeah.
But Richter, I think he could be a good player for Celtic, but he's only showing little bits and bobs what I've seen on the box. I think Big Sam has got to play in the left because he can stretch him.
Do you not think sometimes in some games they got their Neil Lennon likes to throw in a wee bit of a curveball? I mean, look at Miku up front for Barcelona last year. Do you not think someone like Lennon might just throw out, Pukki or maybe Berigtor just to sort of see, because there might be a bit of an unknown quantity in the team so far?
I think if we were playing at home, there would maybe be a chance of that, but not away from home, I don't think.
If you're playing Berigtor and Sammy and Commons, nah.
Not for me either.
No. So you need 11 guys to fight. You need 11 guys to leave their skin on the park. And you're not really want sort of a James Forrest, a Berigtor, too many of them. Maybe one at the most you can have. Like a sort of, but nowadays I wouldn't class Commons as a flair player. Commons is he's a vital cog for our team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he's like before Commons, you would say he'd have been one of the flair players, but he's one of our major players, absolutely. But if you've got a Berigtor, if you got a James Forrest, I think you can only play one of them.
You're saying about Commons as well, Jason. Commons is a real goal threat.
Aye.
He'll take the shots to the edge of the box now. He's a goal threat. You need him in the team.
The thing that I think is good about Sammy and Commons is that when they both get the ball, they tend to hold on to it for about 1 or 2 seconds. You know what I mean? They have this ability to kind of hold off a man and then turn, and by that time somebody's moving up and then there's a pass on.
And you need that at that level as well.
You do, definitely. You've really got to play. You've got to pace the game and pace the pitch, I suppose, as well.
Aye.
Well, Commons he can play in that hole, can't he? But just off the top man. I mean, the way he set up Stokes on Saturday with a header.
I was cracking me header.
Aye, brilliant. His vision, amazing.
Yeah.
Aye, definitely. So where will you watch the game on Wednesday night, Brendan?
I might go down the Irish Club. If not, I'll get my brother Andy and watch it in the house. But we'll see. Probably the Irish Club get a few games down me.
Aye. Good. What about you, Paul? What about you?
I think I'm just going to a mate's house, to be honest.
Aye.
You know, I'm not a fan of watching games in pubs unless it's, 100% Celtic, to be honest,
Aye. Like I was maybe going to go up the Keys, but I'm going to have it in the house. I'll just have it in here, get a few of the mates in. That'll do me. But I'm really looking forward to it. You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
It's one of
They've
those
got a
things.
few players there, haven't they, Jason?
Well, get Kaka. I'm not really too. Paul's your man. He'll be able to tell you who else is it.
Aye, they've got a few long-term injuries, El Shaarawy and Sylvester and people like that, and Kaka's been added to that. The captain has also been added to that. So, it's. I think the key point is what happens. The first game, any gambler will tell you the first games in the Champions League are always what happens to bet on because they're so cagey. You know what I mean? They're kind of like the first legs in a lot of games. Nobody wants to give away too much. Nobody wants to take too many chances. So, this could just be our day on Wednesday.
Sounds good to me.
Definitely, I'm liking the sound of that.
Have we ever won in Italy?
No.
No.
No, I don't think we have. No. A few draws.
This is a different animal.
Yeah, but last
Different animal, mate. Aye, definitely. We need a bit of that Everton fighting spirit, don't we? Had to get that in there. Had to get that in there. What a result on Sunday.
I see you on Twitter, you're really happy with that, aren't you?
Oh, delighted. Aye, super.
Do you remember a show about 2 months ago where they accused Jason of being an Everton fan and he just ran me out of town?
I'm not an Everton fan.
Oh, no.
Was that hashtag "Come on, you boys in blue" or something?
Aye, come on, you Blues. Oh, you can't beat it. It'd be interest, and obviously beating Chelsea as well, wasn't it? Too shabby, and Jose getting sent home. Aye, happy with that. And just a young boy Bartlett that played with Everton. He couldn't get a game under Moyes. That tells its own story. And Martinez makes 3 substitutions. 2 of them forwards he brings on near the end. Moyes would have brought on 2 goalies. Do you know what I mean? So Man United can have him. Not at all. No. Not the way he's conducted himself. He left Everton. No, went down in my estimation.
See, I was just reading there, that's quite sad news. Billy Connolly.
I was just going to bring that up as well at some point.
Early stages of prostate cancer and Parkinson's.
Oh, I think he's had surgery for prostate cancer. I think the cancer
cleared the cancer. He's been cured.
Cleared.
I was just reading that there on Twitter.
But I think he has the early stages of Parkinson's disease. Apparently, it sort of came on him. He started sort of blanking during the shows and forgetting stuff. And apparently, Billy Connolly's always been famed for just going on stage and just delivering without any notes, apparently. You know what I mean? So obviously for a guy like that to kind of have that happen on stage, must be a serious issue,
So wish the big man all the best because an absolute legend. I don't think I've ever laughed as much at him in all my life.
I remember being a kid, right? When we used to live down the Falls. I think it was the Albert Hall video came out, right? And my man and dad put us to bed early, right? And the fucking roars of the 2 of them for about an hour and a half from down the stairs. I was going like, whatever they're watching must be absolutely amazing. And then years later I got to see it. It was just brilliant,
The one for me was the Parkinson one, wasn't it? The one that an audience with Billy Connolly.
Oh, jeez, that was fantastic. The one with the incontinence pads. Saddle up and ride your pony.
Saddle up and ride your pony.
What's your star sign? Sagittarius. I like the shit in the street.
Absolutely amazing. They just did that. Okay, could I say anything? You'd have burst out laughing.
That's the thing. I mean, did you ever watch it? There was a thing on Channel 4 a couple of years back, and it was the 100 greatest stand-up comedians, right? And of course, he was number one. He's the Jimi Hendrix of comedy. But I mean, Eddie Izzard said it. He said, Eddie Izzard said, without Billy Connolly, he said, there would be no contemporary comedy. I mean, there would be no that would never have happened. He said, like, you can talk about Lenny Bruce, you can talk about Richard Pryor. He said, but without Billy Connolly, modern comedy wouldn't exist.
What about you, Joe? What about your how's your stand-up going? You've got the boys laughing already.
That's it. That's a hobby.
Oh man, see the way he shouted and all that on stage, though, just roaring like a bull to the crowd and all that. And it could have been roaring about anything, but you just burst out laughing. But it was all the recreating. See, because being young, brought up in Scotland, and it was all just recreating stuff that happened. With the priests coming to the house and things like that, and it was all just things that you knew, like parties at New Year and stuff like that. Aye, the duvet. He hands through the sleeves of the hider down.
His mother finds a condom in his pocket. Oh my God, he's hanging about with Protestants.
Oh my God, and it's just everything he says, you're just like, you can, it didn't happen to you, but you got to the party New Year's, Jim said he's trying to hit the telly. Oh, brilliant, man, brilliant. Just amazing.
Right, boys, I'm going to sign off now, so all the best. Let's hope we get 3 points on Wednesday.
Hey, Brandon.
Cheers, man.
Hail.
Cheers. Hail.
I'd say that's about us, is it?
Well, what else we got to talk about? Anything else in the news?
No, just anybody who's not listened to the latest Desert Island Tims was quite good. Frank McAvenny was on with Billy. He's if you want to get some music for riding a bird to, because first of the songs all you can picture is Frank McAvenny's arse gone. But his music's absolutely terrible. Like,
it's brutal.
savage garbage.
Here, is it as bad? Jason, is it as bad as the videos Kieran McVeigh puts on Facebook?
No, that's not as bad. I had a 2-week holiday with that numpty in Spain. He lives in the 80s. Honestly, I was ready for jumping in the pool and no coming out after week 1. Oh, terrible.
The other night he had a believe it or not. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Terrible, man. Terrible. You could tell he was never out the door when he was younger. Aye, brutal. So that's
are we done?
Aye, so Wednesday night. When's the Barca game? It's the Barca game 2 weeks after.
Aye,
1st of October. Is that a Tuesday, Paul?
All the home games are Tuesdays, all the away games are Wednesdays.
Right. Is that always the case?
No, it was reversed last season.
Right.
Because if you remember
so our home games are on STV and the away games are on Sky. That's a lot of work for those that go to the games.
I know.
Bloody hell. What about the ticket situation with selling the tickets? What a carry on that was. I wasn't really on Twitter much after it, but see all those that queued up, did they all get sorted?
No.
Or was there a lot of people unhappy they'd ran out by the time they got to the front?
Well, I know a guy from Edinburgh. We went through there at 3:30 in the morning, and he said there was 50 people there then, and he was there for 9 hours before he got his tickets.
What the fuck?
So,
how's that happen?
I think it's bizarre in 2013. I mean, I believe what he done was had like 3,000 for people queuing up, 3,000 online, 3,000 as he phoned up. But surely he thinks in 2013 there's going to be a better system than having people queuing in the block in the middle of the night, you know?
Did it have anything to do with it? Didn't they change the rules whereby you could buy for your friends and family?
Orders could buy 4 extra ones, aye.
And then you could order 3 packages on the one phone call. So effectively, in one phone call, you could buy 12 tickets, 12 packages. But the online one said after half an hour they were all away, and my mate kept getting kicked out the phone. And then what happened was about an hour later, more appeared, and we got a few extra packages. And it was just, I don't know what happened, but an hour later they just appeared because we gave up. And so end up getting a couple of extra packages.
I'll tell you what, I've had about 6 people approach me, right? People I haven't even spoken to in about a year looking for tickets for Amsterdam.
Aye.
Everybody else having that problem?
Me, I'm going, and it's terrible.
Well, certainly reckon, given the demand that they've had,
Paul's gone. Is he?
Paul good.
But honestly, I mean, like, people I haven't spoken to in a long time going, like, do you know where I can get tickets for... I'm just telling people, I say, get a flight, get a hotel, and just, if you can't get tickets, join in the party.
Well, let's put it out to the listeners anyway. If anybody has got any wire for tickets for Amsterdam, one of your favourite homeboys, Jason, one of your favourite 4 homeboys is gone and he's not got a ticket yet. So if anybody can sort me out with a ticket, are you going, Paul?
No, I've got an exam that week, so...
What were you going to say before you get cut off there?
No, I was just going to say that Celtic reckon approximately 14,000 fans are booked up for Amsterdam. And we got 2,700 tickets, which, if you remember the last time, we got 8,000 tickets. So it's a big leap down, like, you know.
When I was there the last time, I can remember leaving to go to the stadium, and there was a load of Celtic fans at Dam Square and that didn't have tickets, and they were all just going to the bars to watch it. So that was when we had 8,000 tickets. So this is going to be desperate. They're selling them on a Dutch website. I know a load of guys that have got them for their end. And the company, I think the face value, well, it's not the face value, their actual price for selling the tickets, €86. But see, when they add on other charges and that, it's roughly works out €130. As far as, and I just says, I'm not paying that.
Because the actual official Celtic game tickets are €52.
That's right, aye. So theirs won't be any more than that.
No, they can't be, no.
No, so you're talking about they're putting on €80 on top of the face value, and the chances are you'll get to the stadium and they maybe not let you in. I don't know, but and plus,
listen, do you remember that night when we were talking about we were in Milan, right? Do you remember? This was the strangest thing ever. If you remember, there was thousands of Celtic fans didn't have tickets, right? On the day of the game, then we were told, by the way, they're selling tickets in the bank. So you went into the bank and there was this queues of hundreds of Celtic fans in the bank buying tickets for the football. It was mad.
See when you go to see Athletic in Bilbao, they sell tickets at the BBK bank machine. See the ATM.
And the ticket just pops out.
And see if you've got if you bank with that bank, there isn't any charges. You know, so you just get a ticket. But if you've got like a debit Visa or whatever, I think there's a Euro charge or something like that to get the ticket. But the ATM prints the ticket off for you.
That's fantastic.
Obviously, the big games, if it's Madrid or Barca or that coming, you'll have to go through the club or that, or there's only a limited amount. You know, it must be hooked up to some mainframe computer that once it's printed these out, they're done. But you need to go through the club if it's the big games. But obviously, your games against like Levante and stuff like that, Malaga and things like that, the ones that won't sell it. In fact, talking about Athletic Club, they're playing tonight. This is their first game in their new stadium tonight. This is them opening San Mamés Barria tonight.
Who are they playing?
They're playing right now. The game kicked off at... They're playing Celta Vigo at home, sorry Joe. The game kicked off, it's 5 minutes into it. They beat Osasuna 2-0. They played at Anoeta Stadium, Real Sociedad Stadium, and they took... It was 172 buses left Bilbao to go to the game. They took 27,000 fans up to San Sebastian for the game. Aye. There was 172 buses left, and obviously guys make their own way there and everything. But so this is their first night tonight.
There's a Celtic fan in Milan now. He's in Milan. He's sitting in his hotel watching the telly and says he's watching Parma v Roma on Italian TV. And at half time they had a good bit about Celtic, Tony Watt's goals, and lots of footage of Celtic fans, the Barca tifo, and You'll Never Walk Alone.
Right. There's one each to know.
There's a big support away to Milan. We would have plenty of tickets for them, no?
We got 5,000 and we've sold under 3.
Aye. But to be honest with you, see with the short notice, 3,000 is a bloody good support to take anywhere, you know.
And you know what? If you're picking one game, everybody wants to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think, see when it's made as well, it's too quick to come. See if we were at home first game, and another 2 weeks till we go to Milan. Plus, loads of folk have been, because me and Paul were in Amsterdam, but that was 2001. A load of the laddies that are supporting Celtic now, if there's one stadium they've not been at, everybody's been the San Siro and the Nou Camp. So
I say about a few virginities popped up.
Oh, there could be. Could be. I can mind the last time that I read like this. There was a squad in queuing up at the one window. They were all getting in after each other. You're saying, what's going on here?
Oh, man.
I've seen Celtic play there loads of times because went pre-season tour to Rotterdam. We played Feyenoord in that tournament, so we went back to Amsterdam. Obviously, it was just a few buses. Then me and Linda, it was Linda's 22nd birthday, and I took her to Amsterdam for a wee break. But Celtic were there on pre-season tour. And she's like, on the plane, there's people here with Celtic strips. So what's going on? I says, I had something to tell you.
Oh, you fucking king, the king of romance.
Aye, so that was she's 38, 16 years ago.
You've had a long suffering wife, obviously.
Happy days, man, happy days. So it's all about. And and I was there in 2001. That was brilliant, amazing. That was the first time. I'd say that was my 6th away European trip, and it was the first time I'd ever seen Celtic score a goal in Europe. I just was dying for us to score a goal to see what it was like celebrating in Europe. Aye, they get beat to 0 every game.
I've got to tell you a good story about Amsterdam, right? And the person will go unnamed for all, obviously, like, no. But whenever it's like this trip, right, and he was ball lit up, that's what he said. It's named that you know or that, Joe, like, no, but somebody that was with me, like, no. We're there for a stag anyway, huge crowd of boys. And he was that desperate with this one hooker that he wanted, right? He was so drunk, she was refusing to let him in, right? And she says, you can come in, you come in with him. So she charged him an extra tenner, and I had to go in and sit and watch me. She went, I had to sit in a chair, just bang away at this hooker. I had to sit in a chair. What's going on? Hey, I got paid a tenner for me to go in and watch. I think she was just wanting to make sure she was safe. Like, oh, there you go.
You're fucking prostitute referee, are you?
I'll give you a quick funny story as well. Maybe shouldn't say this, but we were over. It was in 2001. In fact, it was a month before Celtic played. They were at my mate's stag weekend, and there's about 40s there. And I think there was maybe a couple of Rangers fans, maybe 2 or 3, and a few Motherwell fans, and a few of my mates from Dundee had come down there, or Celtic supporters, and we were sitting outside one of the canals. It was on the Monday or the Sunday, the day we were due to fly home, and I had to go to the consulate, and one of my mates for Dundee was changing everybody's clothes about their bags and all that, and I'd lost my passport. And see when we get back to Scotland, we went through one of my mate's bags and my passport was in it. I was raging. But anyway, we were sitting outside, and the next thing, all these Hearts fans appeared. And we were like, what the hell's going on here? It's like in July, maybe the end of July, because I think it was a Champions League qualifier we played Ajax in, so the game would have been towards the end of August or something, wouldn't it?
That's right,
Aye, so it was in July. We were sitting there all outside, and a couple of boys had Celtic taps on, and the next thing, these Hearts fans have all come down, and we were like, what's going on here? So I said to one of the guys, what's this crack here? And the boys like, we're here, Hearts are here in pre-season tour. Well, all right, fair enough. So they came down and one of them seen the Celtic strip, and there was a wee choice word. So we were sitting there, and one of my mates for Dundee, he's like, what did he say there? And I'm like, I'm not really sure what he said, and I was trying to play it down. So the next thing, it was nearly kicking off big time. So the next minute, I've just had a text from my mate. He's listening to me saying that, so he knows what's coming. So the next thing, we were there, and we're all sitting outside. He was saying, I know. And the next thing, this HomeBhoys come wandering down with a heart scarf on. All right, boys. And he says, all right, pal. He says, we're there to see the Jambos. And he says, I've got this scarf on. And he says, this scarf's followed Hearts for 50 years. My mate for Dundee just stood up, took it up, chucked it in the canal. It says, although we followed them any longer. Oh my god! Oh, it was terrible.
Oh my god!
Hell out of order.
That's fucking...
we just sat there, looked at each other. He says, fuck him. Just sat there.
That's fucking. That's abuse. Oh my god! That's abusing pensioners.
I know. Aye, bloody. Because you didn't know whether to laugh or greet. It was one of the ones. Oh,
how did your man take it?
The old boy, he just wasn't happy. And the young squad that were all giving us abuse, they were all sort of fronting up. And then they seen there was like 40 of us, and they're like, we'll just leave it. But
fuck your squad.
It was caught to them at the start, saying some wide comments, like try sort of take the mickey at us. And then he says, I'll get him back. And he's with the old boy. But the old boy, come on, and he was like, what are you drunken tart in the army? Hey, boys, this scarf, it's followed hurts for 50 years. And he took it off and chucked it in the canal and says, I'll not be following them anymore, pal, on your way. And you're just like,
oh my God, that's, in fairness, it probably did the job.
Lead balloon.
Oh, man. Oh, that's terrible.
I know.
Anyway, so how are we done, Harbour? Judging by your sigh, I'm assuming that's us finished now.
I've got a couple more stories, but I'm going to end up incriminating.
Oh no, go!
There you go. Oh.
I've got a vision of Harper on that stool.
Sitting in my watch prostate going, no, look at my watch, what's going on here, man?
Oh my God.
Counting the clips on his arse. Oh dear. Right. So anyway.
We call it a night then?
Huh?
We call it a night?
Aye.
Right. Folks, that's the end of it. Tonight's been it's been eventful. It's flown past, in fairness. It's 9:15 already. Normally we're just struggling. But it's going well. So let's have a little predictions for Wednesday. Harper, you first.
One each.
Jason?
Commons to score.
Commons to score.
2-1.
Beat 2-1. Jesus.
Aye.
Paul?
Off.
Well, okay. Well, I'd fill out my Paul calls us back.
Off it.
Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to say 1 each as well. Although I know 1 each. 1 each is probably the best I can hope for, I think. I think a red Commons to score. It'll either be a top end from Commons or a screamer.
Screamer.
Think so?
Aye.
From about 20, 25 yards out.
Aye.
Under the crossbar. Oh, I can see it coming.
Get your money on that.
I can see it coming. Right at the end of us. Paul's obviously not calling back in. So he's going to say goodbye to the good folks.
Just once again, if you're in the area, you want to come and have a couple of pints with the St. Lawrence CSC, pop up to Sarsfield Bar and we'll all be there and there'll be grub and everything laid on as well. So
what's the story? What's the story with my membership?
You paid it.
I know. What's the story with the polo shirts? How much are they?
20 quid.
20 quid. Are they nice, eh?
To tell you a story about the polo shirt, there's a guy in the town here that does it. He does loads of shirts for loads of different things and that. And it was actually the Republican Flute Band. One of the lasses went and got the logo sorted, and it took 1 full hour to embroider the logo on the t-shirt with a machine.
Jesus.
Because he says it's the most stitches that's ever went in a logo on any t-shirt he's ever made. So the time has gone into it. That's the reason they're going to be 20 quid. We're hoping they're going to be about 15, but because there's so much detail and everything in the logo, it's ended up we're going to sell them 20 quid. But still, it's 20 quid's alright, like, no?
And they look sharp, eh?
They look cracking, like. Do you see pictures on Facebook? No?
I did. I seen it.
Talking about
no, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell the quality of a shirt when you're looking at the picture. You know what I mean?
If you ever turned up to the pub, you'd never see it.
Hold on a second. I surprised you last week.
You did, just being out your house. You did surprise me. Never thought for a minute you'd be there when I walked in.
Absolutely. I mean, I was there before you.
I know.
Right, anyway.
Oh, by the way, we've got a gig as well for anybody who's interested in that. If you're in, you don't even have to be Drogheda, if you're in the area, we've got the return of the Glasgow Derby. So it's the bank holiday weekend here. It's bank holiday here. I don't know if it's in Scotland, but 27th of October, Sunday, part of this will be Celtic, and then we've got Liam Bridgman in the back lounge. It's €3 cover charge to get in. It's a wee fundraiser for the club. Liam's an absolute brilliant ballad singer. We know him quite well, so he's coming in. And at the last meeting, Joe, I put you forward to sing a few tunes as well. So
absolutely, worldwide temporary.
Aye,
not a bother.
Right, cool. I maybe even go up and sing my Stokesy song.
Here, we're actually going to play that Stokesy song tonight, so we are.
Well, obviously.
We preview, I mean.
Anyway, we're just rambling here now.
That's all we do anyway. Anyway, folks, that's the end of it tonight. Join us next week, I suppose, to we digest Milan, mostly, I'd say. Hopefully get a good win. Hopefully Stokes plays. Hopefully everything goes well. All we can do is sit back and hope for the best. So that's it. It's goodbye from me, goodbye from Jason, goodbye from Paul, wherever he may be, and Harper. So take it easy and hail.
Perfect.
If you're listening, pleasure. This is Engelbert Harperdink with his version of Stokesy song right now.
His version's on. There's another one, like.
Well, I'll rewrite it a bit better. Right, ready?
Right. Well, you got to count, man.
Don't worry, I can write it, okay?
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You've got that goal-scoring touch. You hate the Hun so much. And your dad hates the Queen. You're the best that I've seen. You're the Celts number 10. And you just scored again. We love you, Stokesy, 'cause you're the birth that goes. We love you, Stokesy, 'cause you're better than most. We love you, Stokesy, and your dad hates the Queen. We love you, Stokesy, you're the Dubs number 1. We love you, Stokesy, 'cause you're scoring for fun. We love you, Stokesy, baby, love you, Stokesy. You're just too good to be true. Can't keep my eyes off of you. You'll be top scorer this year, and I say that with no fear. And I'd just like to say, at the end of the day, I might shed a tear when you're made player of the year. Here we go! We love you, Stokesy, 'cause you're the birth that goes. We love you, Stokesy, 'cause you're better than most. We love you, Stokesy, and your dad hates the Queen. We love you, Stokesy, you're the Dubs number 1. We love you, Stokesy, 'cause you're scoring for fun. We love you, Stokesy, baby, love you, Stokesy. You're just too good to be true.
Yay!
If the Green Brigade only singing that chorus next week, I'll be mystified.
Classic. That was better than the rehearsal. Thank God. There you go, folks. There you go.